Hey, Maloney casuals, welcome to another one. We got the legend himself today.
That's loosely based.
What's the definition of legend these days?
Oh man, I throw it out fucking way too much. I need to think of a better word, eh?
Yeah.
I throw it out every second word.
I reckon this lad here, he fits the bill. We've got former NRL player, 142 games and a massive 6 tries in them games.
I did a lot of nudie runs, mate.
We've got Jaiman Lowe joining us today. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Thanks for having us, mate.
Bro.
Yeah, we've been trying to just get kicking this podcast off. So you're probably our biggest guest thus far. So
Mad celebrity.
yeah. No, I reckon we just get started by like telling us about you, like growing up. You were born and raised Toowoomba.
Yeah, born in Toowoomba.
What was
yeah,
it like growing up down there?
Yeah, it was good. It was pretty uneventful sort of childhood. Nothing too.
Yeah, I've
too
never been to
exciting.
Toowoomba.
Toowoomba's beautiful, man.
Toowoomba's it's really pretty. It's it's not sort of for me. It's too cold.
Yeah.
It is super cold down there, right?
Mate, winters down there at the next level. So yeah, moved to the tropics when I was 17. So and just fell in love with this place when I got here. So but no, childhood was great. A lot of sport, obviously. Baseball and footy were probably the two big ones. And
Baseball.
yeah, started baseball. My uncle was he was a baseball coach and softball coach with the girls. So just as kids, cousins and I sort of got involved in that. So that was the early part, and then footy sort of took over as I got a little bit older, and then along came boxing, and sort of jumped into that. Just fell in love with that as well. Just anything sport wise, we threw ourselves into, and mum and dad encouraged that.
Yeah.
So,
When did footy sort of take over, and then you started thinking, okay, this is maybe an avenue where I could pursue professionally or as a career or something?
The dream probably started earlier, like probably 12, 13. I thought, I'd love to do that. Watch the boys play on TV and stuff like that. That's
what was
I
your
wanted
team
to do.
going up?
Canberra.
Yeah,
It was probably a lot like Melbourne now. Like when I was growing up, there was a lot of Queenslanders in, like Barry Belcher and Mal and all that sort of stuff. So followed Canberra, but would never really sort of followed anyone. Just used to love watching everyone play. But they were probably my team when I was little, and then. When I sort of hit 14, 15, started filling out a little bit. I was a skinny little runt when I was a kid, so I used to get thrown around a little bit, but then started to fill out, catch up to everyone else. And, when I was 15, had a really good year that year, just in the junior rep stuff and that, and got picked up by the Cowboys. So that's when it sort of, the dream started to sort of come to fruition a little bit. So that was when it started to take shape, I suppose.
Then you moved up here.
Yeah, 17. So
later.
What was the first team you played for up here?
Brothers.
Yeah.
I was a fish eater, mate. It hurts me. Father-in-law hates it as well. No, the missus is from Charters Towers, so...
That's where Kev's from, Charlie's Towers.
You should have played with miners, bud.
Mate, I've
Would have been the best player on the team by far.
Back then, mate, Charters Towers were quite strong, and brothers weren't. They were in a bit of a changeover, so...
Like times have changed, eh?
Yeah,
the old snake pit out Charters.
Mate, my first ever game was out there. We played a trial against Charters Towers, and obviously brothers are universally hated. So we lobbed out there, and I remember they must have had a few out because we were actually beating them. And I remember walking back after a try and standing on the dead ball line. Obviously, we're front row standing. Yeah. The snake pit was there, and I could smell the rum on their breath, and they were giving it to me.
Just wafting, eh?
So I put my middle finger up and just scratched the back of my head like that to stir them up a bit. Mate, I thought they were going to come over the fence. I thought, this
How old were you at this stage?
I was only 17, So,
cheeky little fella.
Yeah, not thinking, not
just
real
4X
smart,
tins getting
mate.
hurled at you.
Mate, I was surprised I didn't get a rum can in the back of the head, but they wouldn't part with it. They'd drinking it too much.
You're not going to waste that, bud. That's $5.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, that was the introduction to Townsville. Yeah, moved up here when I was 17. Cowboys were good enough to let me finish school, which mum and dad sort of were keen on me finishing in Toowoomba for my mates and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
That was good.
Were you front row back then? Sorry, man. Were you
always front row? Yeah, as I said, I was pretty light for front row when I was younger, and then sort of started to fill out. So that was thank God for that because you needed a bit more size, especially back then. The game was a little bit different than now, but
What was it from? That sort of 17, 18. Did you guys, was it Young Guns still back then?
Yeah, it was Young
Guns.
Guns.
What was the feeder club, Young Guns?
It was awesome, man. We used to play in the New South Wales Cup. It was called First Division back then. So 2000, or 99, 2000, 2001, I think it was. So I lobbed there 2001, and they were still playing the New South Wales Cup. So we'd fly to Sydney on the weekends. on the old Ansett stopover in Brisbane,
Yeah.
fly down red eye down there, play that day in Sydney, and then fly back. So
Rifle Scouts.
have the night out after the game down there and then fly back. So it was
Dusty,
best.
as they-
17, 18-year-old flying.
dusty flights
it was
there.
dusty, mate. And the stopover was a killer. Like, now you got direct flights. Back then there was no direct flight to Townsville, so it was always a stopover in Brisbane. That hurt.
That's a headache.
You just want to get home, eh?
100%. Like, so even now when I book flights, I always make sure they're direct.
Because there was
That stopover's the worst. Yeah.
why did you play down in that comp? There was no Q Cup comp, or
Yeah, there was Q Cup. I'm not sure why we played in the New South Wales Cup. I
I can't really remember.
Yeah, I can't remember why. I know Townsville Stingers played in the Queensland Cup at one period there in the late 90s. And I don't know whether because the QRL had given them a crack that they didn't want a team in Townsville or what. But no doubt it would have been something behind us.
Anyway.
It was so much fun, man. It was so good.
Especially at that age, going to the big smoke.
Yeah, like I say, I'd only been to Sydney probably once or twice before that. And
Kings
to
or
go
whatever would
down
have been
there.
running back then. King's Cross or whatever.
Yeah, the cross was awesome.
Yeah,
cross.
I
But we used to
never got to experience that. Did you? Hoops?
No, it's
Neither
dead
did I.
The
now,
cross
eh?
now is completely
Yeah,
different.
I've heard it's just completely
sad,
right
mate.
off.
To go
Yeah.
down there now it's not the same as
A lot of lost culture there, eh?
big time. They were great nights. But we used to go to Coogee a lot, the Coogee Bay Hotel and that sort of stuff. So that was a
I've heard
good area. So
Who were some guys coming through similar time to you at Cows?
we were a young team, eh? Like most of us were 17, 18. So Aaron Payne, early days was playing. Later on, then you had like Matty Scott, those sort of guys came through, and they were playing young. But there was a period there in 2002, we'd gone back to the Queensland Cup in 2002, and most of the average age of our team was about 20, and we were leading the comp.
Yeah, right.
So you can
That's awesome.
you convert that over to now would be like 18, 19-year-olds playing for the Blackhawks, leading
And
the Queensland
just,
Cup.
yeah.
Back then, you're just playing footy and enjoying it. Don't really pay attention to the ladder or anything like that.
Living for the weekend.
It's pretty amazing. But yeah, we had a pretty red hot side. But as I said, we were very young, but it was a good learning experience because we used to get bashed up every weekend because a lot of the Q Cup sides back then were the other end of the spectrum where they were NRL players coming back through at the end of their career, and we were just starting.
Older, tougher
Yeah,
fellas.
right, eh?
Good way to learn.
Yeah, 100%. Like it was a good learning curve. At the time, you're thinking, "Oh, this sucks," but in hindsight, when your career sort of started to kick on a little bit, you appreciated that.
Prep you up a bit, eh?
Any
Big
like
shots, yeah.
old fellas that you remember sort of dropping back that you come up against that sort of you learnt a lot off, or
Yeah, there was one guy, Ali Brown. He played a lot of cup.
Yeah.
He was the captain of Burleigh. Nicest bloke you'll ever meet, but get him on the field, he just want to tear your head off. Yeah,
Full mongrel.
2005, we played Burleigh in the Q Cup Grand Final, and we as I said, we had a young side then.
or was he up front as
And
well?
he was a front row
yeah.
for them and like bit of their leader. And 2004, the year before, we'd gone to the Goldie for end of season trip.
Yep.
So met Ali out, and as I said, like he was a champion bloke, but in this grand final, he just wanted to take my head off. So
The switch
we
just
ended
flicks,
up,
eh?
we ended up punching on and sorting it out, and then chatted to him after the game. Once again, he just flicked that switch off again.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I learnt a lot from that. Just like you can be the yin and the yang.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you know, it's all right to be a nice guy off field. You don't have to try and be a hard
Yeah.
prick all the time.
Yeah.
Like you can juggle that, and when it's time to play, or you know,
That competitive nature can come out
Got to
and-
click the
yeah.
switch as well. Like
Yeah.
so.
Let that mongrel out, eh? Control that mongrel on the field, yeah.
Especially back then, you could a little bit more. So
Yeah.
like now, there'd be probably a bit more of a risk.
I was going to
Yeah,
bring
now
this.
it's-
I was going to
yeah.
bring
You
this
can't
up
do
a bit
anything now.
later, but might just touch on it now. Then, what do you think about nowadays? There seems to be so much more niggle and just bullshit that goes on in the
Yeah.
games. I think because a lot of the guys know they're not going to get a punch in the mouth.
Exactly, mate.
Yeah.
I think that's, not to get too deep, but that's probably a bit relevant in society too.
Yeah,
You get a
100%.
lot of-
I agree.
A lot
Yeah.
of young blokes now seem to have a bit more cheek and lip, like we all did when we were growing up,
Yeah.
and you're testing the waters as a
Yep.
kid, like as a man and whatnot. But it just seems now that a little bit more disrespectful to older people and stuff like that. Anyway, it is what it is. But as far as footy goes, it's 100% that. Like I can remember back in the day, if two blokes were going to sort something out, no one ran in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
1v1.
now you see everyone running in
Push and
because they
shove,
know
jersey
no one's
grab
going to
and-
get smacked
yeah.
in the mouth. They know that. So
Yeah,
everywhere,
yep.
got wingers flying in with their chins out, and it's
Yeah.
just like, mate, you'd have got that taken off 10, 15 years ago.
I agree 100%. Even with what you're
Yeah.
saying off the field, I agree 100%. A lot of people have
Oh,
teeth now, eh? But
exactly.
and it shows.
I can understand like what they're trying to do, but
Yep.
yeah, it's probably the old school part.
Yeah, it's
that
not saying
just-
it's right or wrong,
No.
but it is there. It
frustrating.
is sort of good, like you say, in society and on the
Yeah.
footy field. Like
Yep.
if you're given, if you got a big mouth, you sort of deserve a bit of a slap,
yeah,
and it'll
absolutely.
pull you.
Fucking
Pull you
knows,
into
man. You've got to be
line.
held accountable for your
Yeah.
actions. Even what they're talking about, like the kickoff now, you know, like not doing the kickoff anymore. Like some of that stuff's getting a bit soft with that.
just
Like they
completely
lifting leg
changing the
penalties and
I love listening to James Graham. Like he's
Yeah,
done a
he's
lot of
a-
he's
research
awesome,
on
mate.
it. Like
He's
say
a tough fella.
he's coming from he was a lunatic on the field and he played the game hard.
But very
and no
smart,
doubt
hey?
he would have
Yeah.
got a lot of head knocks.
Yeah.
But he's done his research.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even he's still saying it's a contact sport.
yeah,
It is what it is. Like it's not for everyone. That's what makes it so special. It's like boxing or MMA or any of that. It's some people can do it, some people can't.
Yep,
Like,
and that's why you get
I
into
know,
it.
once again, I know why they do it. They want kids playing the game and they want mum and dads to feel safe about the kids playing the game. But there's a huge difference between little Johnny playing on the weekend and the NRL.
Yeah.
Like it's chalk and cheese. So
yeah, true.
it gets a little bit frustrating. And then there's also all the lawsuit stuff and that can happen.
But you
down the
know,
track.
like, is it in any of your contracts or that, or like you? But you pretty much know that you're signing up to fucking take these hits, and
Yeah.
And I
No,
think I have
there's-
heard James and stuff say,
Yeah.
if you gave us that, we would choose it. Or if you say there's a potential for, you know, traumatic brain injuries in the future, whatever, we'd still do it because we love it.
There's nothing there yet. There's no contract you
Yeah.
can sign, or there's no waiver
Yeah,
to sort of
okay.
get yourself out of it yet. But it's coming because we're only one lawsuit away
Yeah.
from everything changing.
Yeah.
And that's like I say,
But
that's
how-
just the way the world.
So what
runs.
was your mentality when you're fucking on the back fence? You know a kickoff's coming to your side of the field.
Oh, I just used to pick the smallest bloke out and run as hard as you could.
Just a quick scan,
Hope
eh?
no one jumped in front of you. No, that was for me. That was my job on the field. But it was one thing, without sounding too stupid. I enjoyed that part
Yeah.
because
The challenge.
the challenge, and also I used to look at it. If I copped a big hit, then it was like the slap to the face you needed sometimes. Like, righto, we're on. You know, we're playing now. You know, sometimes,
Wake you up.
yeah, 100%.
Get you,
It's
throw
like
you in
a
the
bit of
deep
a
end.
wake up. It's like,
Get you going.
well, if I take the first one and get a whack, well, we're in the game. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
that's how I sort of used to take it. But and it was the same as if I was on the other end chasing the kickoff and going down to whack
Head
someone
hunting.
else.
Yeah.
It was the same
Yeah.
thing. Like it was like, okay, I'm going to try and get a decent contact here and get in the game.
Plus, that's the whole the adrenaline of it, right? That's why
Yeah.
you get into it.
And I've
The
heard
whole
heaps
fun
of
of
people
it.
say
It's
like,
like when people go hunting or people,
Yeah,
go boxing. That's the whole fun of it, the adrenaline
yeah,
rush.
that first jab you cop, and then
Yeah.
like, righto,
Yep.
we're on here. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
Who was someone that you not used to wink it from, but you'd
Who
see
had a presence? Who
you
had a
know,
presence? on the field?
who you knew was going to
Easily.
take a hit up, and you're like, holy shit, I got to do
Adrian
this.
Morley, man.
Yeah, he was a
just
maniac.
horrifying, eh? Like,
Yeah.
Really?
And when he was playing in Australia, I was only young. Like I debuted when I was 19, and one of my first run-on games was against the Roosters down there, and like you had him, and they were stacked. They always stacked.
Yeah.
And just he was the only guy. Actually Gordy as well.
Yeah.
Because Gordy could whack as well, but you'd scan the line and just think, please don't be in front of me. Like, be over there somewhere so I can run in there. Or, he was just, I had so much respect for him too. Like I just love watching him play. And
Yeah.
then when you're facing him, it's like, oh Jesus, careful what you wish for.
He was just all intensity,
He could belt you with a good shot. He could run over the top of you with all elbows and knees and hurt you. But then if you were going to punch on, he'd probably punch a piss out.
Yeah.
Like he had everything
All
covered.
rounder.
Like
All rounder.
there's no way. Sometimes you get guys who run hard and you think, well, if this game wears on, he keeps going, I'll grab him by the shirt later and punch a piss out of him and he'll go away. Like, but you just knew for a fact he
had
wasn't
that
going
presence,
nowhere.
yeah.
Like, and that was always pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
And once again, like lots of times in my career, like you meet him off the field, you couldn't meet a nicer player.
Yeah.
Just the most gentle, like
I love
well mannered, just champion.
They're the best kind of people, man.
100%.
Yeah, people. Yep.
Definitely.
So that 2002 was it when you debuted? Took
Yep.
us through your sort of debut season, but more so your debut game. What
Yeah.
was that like, and how'd you sort of find out, and what was the feeling like going into that?
Crazy month, man, because Murray Hurst was the coach at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So he took over Tim Sheen's the back end of 01. Only got 4 or 5 games into 02, and then Graham Murray got brought in. He got sacked. So I started sort of just coming into the top 30, like doing a bit of training here and there. Was never expected to play that year, really, like to ever even be considered.
You were just happy sort of playing young guns?
Yeah, well, back then we had like a full top 30, 35 NRL squad, and then there was the young gun squad as well. So I was in the young gun squad, sort of would go up and just train a little bit with first grade here and there. But when Graham come in, I think he sort of had a bit of because we were going terrible. I think he had a bit more of a look to the future, a bit of a youth policy sort of thing. So he identified a few of us, and then they played, the first week he was in, they played the Warriors and got pumped. So I think he's just gone, right, everyone's a clean slate here. So I actually just so happened had a really good game in Reggie's that week. I'd been playing shithouse before that, to be honest, but because he was new to the club, he just seen
that was the only game he'd seen of you.
So
right place, right time.
And I think he's from that old school, like where I was a little bit loose, and I think he liked that. So that was another thing that sort of fell in my favour. So we played South the following week, and he picked me.
Yeah,
but he didn't pick me until later in the week. So I think I got told on the Friday and played Saturday. So like I literally,
you would have been shitting bricks or what?
24 hours. No, I didn't get time.
I was going to say that might have been better.
That's probably a good way.
It was, man. It was a blessing in disguise because, straight away you're on the phone to mum and dad. They're trying to book flights to come up and watch. Like it was just boom, 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 chaos.
All
like
happening.
Getting phone calls from mates. Hey, how good's this? You know, and then next minute sitting in the sheds getting dressed ready to go. Like it just happened so quick. But once again, man, I was just so excited to be there. I think just my energy, I was probably pretty average to be fair, but I was just in everything, wanting to tackle everything and all that sort of stuff. So ended up playing 16 games for the rest of that year. So nearly pretty much stayed in first grade until the end of the year. So it was
good.
And as I say, it was playing against the Broncos packs with Webke, Tallis, Thorne, Siva, Tony Carroll was that was pretty
good way to learn then.
5 test players in their starting pack, like that was
How old were you?
Pretty cool. 19
so straight
Holy shit.
My first run on game was against the Broncos at ANZ because Suncorp was being built, so they knocked Suncorp down. So so ANZ Stadium, that was my first run on
against
game.
them blokes.
Against Broncos, man. Baptism of fire, proper.
Throw him in the deep end.
I played shit.
Feed him to the lions.
That's exactly what it would have looked like too from the stands because it was boy against men.
Good way to learn, but
it was. It was great. It was a great. Everything you look back in hindsight now, like all those sort of moments like that, tough times like that, were always good.
They shape you for the future.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, was Billy Johnson around back then?
Yeah, Big Bill.
Coach?
Yeah.
What was them pre-season and shit like? So, those who don't know, Billy Johnson was this mad old. He used to be he played first grade as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
but he's a mad old boxer. Challenged for the Australian title a few times. He was just a fucking fitness freak.
Got disqualified for headbutting a guy.
Yeah,
in the Australian title.
Yeah,
yeah.
He fought Ken Salisbury for the Australian title. Have you ever seen the video of them cunts at the Sydney Opera House with the big brawl?
Yeah.
And so Ken Salisbury was in that fight. He fought a guy named Alex Temelkov. Well, Billy Johnson fought Ken Salisbury's for the Australian title, like all old Aussie boxing legends. So Billy was he was pretty handy back then, like up on that level. But then he was a trainer at Cows for years, wasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
And
how many years he ended up doing? He got there in 02, so basically the start of my first grade career.
I heard he used to just punish you.
Yeah, it was all like there'd be nothing that he would have done back then that'd be looked at now as like any sort of technique. Rhyme or reason, just all
no science behind it, just bust them.
Nah, it was just all in the head. That's all it was about, and getting fit. Obviously, getting fit along the way, but everything was hard. Like even you'd fly back from playing, and we'd go do a recovery session at the pool. That was hard. Like your ass
straight into it,
and usually you're hungover as well back then. So it was rough. But everything was hard. Just nothing was ever easy.
What was some of the shit he used to do? Like
a lot of it was body weight stuff. To be fair, he probably was onto something because a lot they've gone away from a lot of those real heavy lift sort of stuff. They've gone more body, but a lot of that sort of stuff. big bike rides. He loved his bike. So that was, if you're
where
in
would
the
you-
fat squad, we used to ride to Woodstock and back, so 80K.
Holy can't.
So we were actually talking the other day with Kevin Campion. He was telling us a story. I'd forgotten about it, but he reminded me of it. So there was a group of about 10 of them that had sort of needed a bit of extra training in the preseason, and Bill used to just love going on his rides. So it was like his, he'd just have his little bike riding crew. So he would just make stuff. Anyway, there were 12 of them in there, and we used to do this thing on the rower, which was 300 metres in a minute and do it 10 times, which doesn't sound like too much, but it's balls to the wall the whole time.
10
like, so,
times. If you even
10
just
times.
try to get 300 in a minute,
Yeah,
it's very
it's-
manageable.
Yeah.
But if
then
you do that 10
so
times,
I think you
that's
got
fucking
30
hard.
seconds rest in between each rep.
Jesus.
So
Fucking
it was just all the anyway.
Punishing.
He got all the boys. He said, right, if the 10 of yous can row 600 meters in 2 minutes, we'll call off this bike ride.
Oh, yeah.
So 80K. So the boys are cheering. They're like,
everyone
right,
had to get it,
everyone had to get it.
Yeah.
And you knew with Bill, if you missed it by a bee's dick, you're going for that ride. Like he just
was a
never
double whammy there.
compromised on anything. So the boys knew that they had to get it. Anyway, there was a guy from Mackay, Simon Phillips, Donk. He's thinking, we're not all going to get this. So he put himself right to the back to be the 10th person because he didn't want to row and then have to ride because as soon as someone missed it, that was it.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone got it. He was last. So it was up to him
Fresh
to get
on
it.
ride.
Campo was a part of Kevin Campion. I think he was part of this. He got it. So he was part of the ride. And at the end, he's gone last stroke and it's gone tick, tick. And he missed it by like 0.3 of a second.
Oh, get
Bill just said, get your helmets. And that's it.
That's a double whammy then,
So-
because you just fucked up.
yeah. So then he was the last. So he's.
He would have got punished by the
And
boys
then-
or what?
Oh, the boys were off him hard for ages after that. They would have been filthy. But 80K bike ride. So that was Bill. Like there was no compromise. It was just
Old school, eh?
yeah, really old school. And I wouldn't say I love anyone that said they loved it. Is probably lying.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I appreciated it.
Especially early in your career.
yeah, and especially when I left to go to another club and then seeing how they trained, it's like, oh fuck me, Dad. This is why this team's last. Like you know what I mean?
really?
Like, it was,
Like they were way
I'd
easy,
come
wasn't
from
hard?
the Cows. 05, they made the grand final. Year before, they made the finals for the first time, and that was all on the back of sort of the back end of Bill being there.
Yeah, right.
Then went to South, where they'd won Wooden Spoon. And we were struggling that year. And you've seen the way they trained in the preseason. It's like
Sort of
shows.
reflected the
that's
results.
why.
I
So
suppose.
that was good to have that experience under Bill and then lead into go to another club.
So going to Rabbits, they were that was a hard time for them, wasn't it? It was sort of a transition period, them coming back into the comp for a couple of years, changing ownership.
Trying to remember what era, who was playing in that.
Brian
that
Fletcher
Sutton,
just left. So Sutto,
Sutto, yep.
debuted the year before, 2 years before 04, I
Yep.
think.
Isaac Luke.
I actually
Isaac
looked up
came
a few of
07,
these, and fuck, they actually had some decent players though across the times. I don't know if all of these were when you first started, but over the times you were there, like Nathan Merritt, Joey Williams,
Yeah,
he's a
Joey.
deadly player.
Joey was there. Yeah, still good mates with Joey. Still talk to him quite
he's a good
regularly.
lad.
So.
Reese Wesser, Chrissy Sandow,
Reece Wesser.
like,
Fuck, I love Reece Wesser.
Yeah, he played well.
the
West.
Peach, David
Peach
Peachy was
there.
there.
Peachy,
Like
yeah.
he's had some
Legend,
good,
yeah.
he's had some good players across those
Yeah.
few years you were there. But was
Yeah.
it just sort of, you think that transitional period for the club?
Yeah. So 06 was when Russell bought the club, come in with Peter Holmes at court, just injected that money that they needed,
Yeah.
they redeveloped Redfern, the facilities there, which was, I think he spent about 20 million there, like
Fucking
redoing
hell.
the whole park, but not just the training facilities, but he redid the park.
Saw Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe, yeah. So like they did the park up around Redfern, then all the buildings around it started to sort of freshen up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it was just a snowball effect when you look at it now. But so he put a lot of money in, that helped. Then they started to sort of attract Roy Asatasi was a big one.
Roy,
so they
yeah.
got Roy, who was like the best front rower in the world at the time. So he would
was a
have been
weapon,
like
eh?
sign. It would be like West Tigers signing Payne Haas now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that triggered Nigel Vangana. Like all these other guys sort of came. David Kidwell come as well. So they had that experience, and then we had those younger guys like you mentioned that were starting their sort of careers out and probably were faltering a little bit, and then those guys come in and sort of showed them how to train and play and hold yourself and all that. So then it started to turn. So 07 they end up making the semi-finals for the first time in about 20 years or something like that. And then the following year again, 08, they sort of dipped a bit, but then, they started to kick on. Then obviously won the comp in 14.
Yeah.
Was that Bulldogs? No, it was
Yeah, Bulldogs.
Bulldogs. It was when
GF,
old mate broke his face.
Yeah, in the first tackle.
Burgess. Yeah. Like that was a good final.
It was a great final.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see.
So
a lot of the staff and that were the original staff when I was there as well. So to see them come through that, like you say, when they came back in the comp,
built a franchise.
and then they go right through, and then they get
There's
something.
so much history at that club.
Yep.
Russell was awesome at that too, like the Book of Feuds. You would have heard of that. So that he invented that when he first bought the club. Sat down with a bit of a South tragic, and who had written a couple books on South, and just went through the whole history of everything, and just picked little stories out. And he'd come in, so you'd play whoever you were playing that week. Say it was West Tigers or whatever. He would come in with the Book of Feuds, and it was a big one. Like his copy was a big, proper like storybook, looked like a big storybook. And he'd open it up, and he'd blow dust over it.
Proper big main actor.
But as soon as he'd have like spotlights on himself, and like he'd be sitting in the dark corner, typical actor.
That
man,
music going in the background.
he did. He'd have music every now and then. Like,
that's cool as fuck.
Like,
just get you in the mood, eh?
It actually did.
Yeah,
Like,
awesome.
To start off with, it was a bit of a. We thought, fucking, is this a G up?
Where
the
give him an
cameras
Oscar.
Yeah. But then But it was funny.
I didn't know about this. Cool.
Yeah, so when he would blow the dust off, all you'd smell was fucking talcum powder. Because that's all it was. He's just trying to make it look like dust. And all you could just like fucking someone's bathroom or something like that. But his intentions were so good. Like he just loved being around the boys, and you can imagine he's probably surrounded by a lot of yes men. So
Yeah,
the boys
of course.
just used to just
He
drag
would
him
be.
in and rib him.
Yeah,
about shit.
he'd be surrounded by all the phony big actors and that, and this would be like bringing him back to earth kind of thing.
We just used to give him shit saying he bought some friends because he had real friends. He had to buy a footy club to get friends.
Old random mate.
But he took it well. Like he was such a, as I said, he loved the club. He loves history in general. Like he just loves history. So he wanted to dig into the history of the club. So we learnt so much when especially the first couple of years when him and Peter came in. Like, yeah, he put a lot of money, but it wasn't just bullshit. You know, here's some money and do your best, and I want results. He invested in his own time and effort into it as well. So it was a pretty cool experience.
Was learning all that history about the club and such a fucking deep history, I suppose. Sort of made you want to be there and play harder.
Yeah, definitely.
Give you a bit more investment.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it did. And he got.
Was there anything you didn't really know that you learnt along the way there? Or?
I'm a bit of a history buff myself, so there was a lot of ones around like the '68 grand final with Balmain and stuff like that, where they reckon that there was betting rorts going on and the referee was paid off and like a lot of that sort of stuff. Like, long story short, I think the referee was paid off, sort of thing. So South, that was at the back end where South were just winning comp after comp. So like there's little stories like that that were pretty cool, but he got the whole sort of that golden period of like the late 60s, early 70s, the one where Sattler broke his jaw and all that. Got all those players that were still alive and available. So there would have been probably 15 of them all up out of maybe 25. He got them into training one day and just mingled with the boys and stuff like that. Like
all the old school legends.
Yeah, all the old legends. Like Elwyn Walters, like Johnny Sattler was there. George never came, George Piggins, because he was still... That was sort of still a bit frosty with him and Russell because he was part of getting the club back in, but then Russell bought the club and he didn't want Russell and Peter involved in the club, so he wasn't sort of involved. But a lot of legends from that period anyway. But that was so cool just to sit there and mingle with them. And none of them, we were on the way up but still struggling a bit, and none of them were like, you aren't as good as us or anything like that. It was genuinely they wanted the best for the club and best for us. They wanted us winning and that. So. Which was really cool. So he was great like that, Russell. He just seemed to know what to do, what to trigger when it was needed, sort of thing. So and used to bring some cool celebrities into training and stuff like that. It was really fun.
Who was
any big name? Any
we got the coolest one that I liked at the time because he was big at the time. He still is big, but we were training, we were doing weights one day, and Errol Alcott, our physio, come in and he said, "Look, boys, Russell's on his way." He was good mates with Russell, so. Russell's on his way. He's got a guest. So when the guest gets here, just stop doing the weights. And he walked in with Chris Rock. So Chris Rock's walked in. And I'd say Russell's tipped him up with a couple of things. He started ribbing a few of the boys on some like some in-house jokes like that. But obviously Russell
Doing a stand-up set in the gym.
it sort of was like that. Like
Yeah.
he's just picking blokes out. Like he must have obviously remember
Just
like,
roasting
remembered
straight
faces,
up.
and he's just like picking blokes out and giving them a bit. And it would have been like pretty standard jokes, but it's Chris Rock standing there. It was pretty cool, but. Yeah, just little things like that were good fun.
They rip you over anything?
Nah. Sitting in the corner, don't talk to me. As soon as he started pointing blokes out, I'm like, shit.
Homer in the hedge. Homer Simpson in the hedge.
Just go back behind a squat rack somewhere and get out of the way.
That's pretty cool, man. Chris Rock is a legend too.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, that sort of stuff was pretty cool, and only Russell would be able to get in on.
Yeah, there's probably not many other clubs where they're just getting people of that caliber popping
that's
in.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty special.
What about the players itself? Like going over a few of them, there was some pretty big names and funny sort of larrikins.
Yeah, who you reckon the funniest?
Who's like
who's the biggest troll you've ever played?
Shannon Hegarty's probably.
Oh, Hegarty.
Shannon Hegarty from
What was he?
Mackay,
Was he a centre or winger?
Centre winger.
Centre,
Yeah. Yeah, he was just so funny. He's so quick-witted, but pretty immature as well. So it was sometimes he'd just shake your head. And he, I remember one night we were in Auckland. He won't mind me saying this. We're in Auckland and we had a curfew, so we're all back, but we were just in sort of the room having a few drinks, playing some poker. It was when poker was big, right? So like someone would always take some chips and stuff, and we were playing poker, and it was about 2 a.m. Next minute, we could all hear this vacuum. We're like, it fucking can't be cleaning at 2 a.m. Like, what the fuck's going on? So we've gone out the hallway, and Heggs is out there with one of those Ghostbuster backpack, like the industrial cleaners with the Reggie the Rabbit head on, just vacuuming the hallway in the hotel. Oh, fuck, we just lost it. Like, everyone was on the ground laughing. He would just like do stupid, dumb shit like that.
Silly bugger,
like, just funny.
Just playing silly bugger.
just to make everyone laugh.
Yeah, he never took himself too seriously. He was always taking the piss out of himself before anyone else.
Yeah.
So he was always good fun.
Did you have any like recurring roommates or anything? Over?
Yeah, Benny Rogers. So Benny Rogers played at Newcastle and Penrith. He damaged his neck at Newcastle, had to medically retire, but he was a gun. In 08 when we were going good, Roy, all those guys were sort of, everyone was sort of starting to row in the same direction, and we started sort of going really well. He was getting man of the matches, over the top of all these other stars that were in the team. He was killing. He was playing at 6. He was a really good player. So we used to room together a lot, which was probably not a good idea. We used to sort of
bit of a menace.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it's well documented. We all got dropped after a Broncos game in 08 because there was a curfew put on us. But we all went out drinking and we got back.
How many of you?
There was 5 of us. Yeah. So there was
Couldn't help yourselves, eh?
Yeah.
At that age,
there's a bit of a story to it. So there was me, Eddie Paya, Fatuli Talanoa, Kitty, and Benny. So there was the 5 of us. Me and Benny actually went out with my mum and auntie to the casino. But my cousins and that were there for a bit. But we went there drinking. But the story goes, we got on the bus. And we always used to get breathalyzed in the morning.
Really?
Like a mine site?
Sure, like a mine site.
So they didn't want us drinking past a certain hour. It was all around recovery and all that sort of stuff. It was right at the start when sports science was really starting to take over, and then drinking and partying and being awake in general was like started to become a bit of a taboo thing.
Cracking down on it,
big time. So they would breatho us in the morning. But me and Benny overheard, it's the worst thing we could have done, overheard one of the assistant coach or something say, we didn't bring the breatho. So we've heard it. So we just pretended we didn't, like looking out the window or whatever. And got up to our room. We're like, they haven't got a breatho. Yeah, fuck,
it's
let's
on.
go. So we've gone to the casino with my mum and auntie, and but we're drinking. And Benny used to love a punt and that, so we're just chatting and drinking, and wasn't sort of worried about anything. Thought a couple of chewies in the morning, no one will smell it. We'll be right. Got on the bus. I think I was still drunk. Like we were that. On the way to the bus, Errol Orcott's walking. They'd fucking found it in the bag. No. So he's got this breatho and he's walking up the aisle, and he got a couple of the other boys in that as well. But he got me and Benny, obviously. So we both got dropped. And as I said, he was killing it that year. He was getting.
So they just dropped you straight up from blowing.
They did a little bit of investigation. I can't remember what I blew. Yeah. It wasn't even that bad considering, but.
I
Because
wonder
back then,
imagine
you
if he just
played-
said he's just trying to test the players out.
Yeah,
Like,
he
hey,
could
we
have
forgot
played.
the
He could
breath.
have very well could
Looks
have.
over you and your mate. Fucking
Errol Alcott,
smiling
very
up.
smart man. So he very well could have set us up. So touche, Errol, if you did.
Yeah.
It worked. Got us. That wouldn't have been hard. We weren't that smart. So
Yeah, well, at that age, man, you just want to,
yeah.
fucking
And
let out some steam.
for me, Benny was going well. I was playing shit house that
Yep.
year, so I was really struggling. Broncos that night pumped us. I played shit. I knew I was gone, so I was there with family. I just wanted to go and have a drink and forget about it, and it was the wrong thing to do. But
yeah,
How'd you sort of get your way back in?
I didn't.
You didn't?
Yeah, no, I didn't. So that was round 8, 2008, and I didn't play another game until round 1, 2009. So
Okay.
went back and played for the North Sydney Bears, and only played 8 games, nearly got New South Wales Cup Player of the Year.
Oh, really?
So I missed out by 2
killed it.
points behind Jesse Bromwich.
Yeah,
he was
right.
Playing
Oh,
Reggie's.
true.
Yeah, he was playing Reggie's at the time. So
In 8 games.
in 8 games, nearly, so I got 3 points, like every week, because I felt bad about what I'd done. Like, even though, like, I don't regret going out because I wanted to go and see my family. I probably shouldn't have drunk maybe, but I felt a bit of guilt there. So I was like, fuck, I want to play well, sort of
Work your way
myself,
back.
work my way back in and sort of prove myself. So ended up sitting 18th man. That was, as I said, that was the first time I got back in the finals in 08. So ended up sitting on the bench, 18th man for the semi-final against Manly. So that's I'd gone that well, but Jason Taylor and I had a strange relationship, the coach at the time. Like him and I were really good away. So if we were at a barbecue or a club event, we would get along like house on fire, but just footy-wise just didn't see eye to eye.
Just
like he was very tactical. He's very good tactical coach in that. So any of the aggression side of it, and this is probably a good segue to your question about what happened at the Titans, but that sort of stuff, he was off me after that.
He didn't want to
he
borrow
didn't
that.
like that type of player that was going to cost their team. Like,
okay.
but yeah, so like that side of it, I probably struggled to get back in. So even just to get put back as 18th man for that semi was
So when you did go back to New South Wales Cup Day and you were just killing it, did you feel all that experience you had, like the levels were just so much different, or it was just that mentality, like you sort of had to prove yourself, or you just
for me, it was I had to prove myself. I was busting my ass trying to get back into first grade.
Which would be hard because there'd be a lot of hungry people, right?
Yeah,
a lot of people trying to do the same.
It's a dog-eat-dog world, a footy club. It's so strange. You're all part of a team,
But you're all
but
competing.
then there's those competitions within the squads and teams as well. It's a bizarre.
Yeah, true.
And the toxic sort of clubs can fall apart really quick
Because of that, because of too
absolutely.
much competition and kind of drives wedges in between people.
And just a coach that doesn't have a handle on it all or whatever, you can see how it can unravel, which is why Wayne and Craig Bellamy and Trent Robinson, those sort of coaches, so impressive.
They're all over
They're
it.
dealing with a lot of, not just footy stuff, they're dealing with lots of egos.
What goes on in the locker rooms. what goes on off
Outside,
the
like what's
field.
happening in their personal lives can affect things.
Yep.
It's pretty impressive what those sort of
So
coaches
Jason
do.
Taylor, rather than kind of channeling your aggression and rage, he kind of trying to just sort of
Yeah, he
neglect it
didn't
a
like
little bit, or just trying to
he just didn't like it. He didn't like it. He didn't like that sort of side of me on the field as a player. Like he used to. The only time I'd ever get any feedback from him was when I was playing New South Wales Cup, and I'd end up in a punch up in New South Wales Cup or something. And rather than, as I said, I was getting man of the match awards, but rather than grab me and going, look, you're doing this well, keep doing it. He'd only ever get me in when I was doing something wrong.
Yeah,
it's like, fuck, what do you want? Like, what do you want from me? Like, I'm trying to play
Can't
well. I'm
acknowledge
doing
the
both.
good.
I'm playing well as well. Yeah, okay, being a bit loose, but I'm still playing well. But he never ever acknowledged any of that. It was always, oh, you did this wrong. Oh, you should, this is going to fucking ruin your career if you keep doing this shit.
Which is sort of hard. Like you want to build people up in those roles, sort of thing, rather than restrict them.
But that was the way I was. That's why I was never skillful enough to be that guy. I was never fast or fit enough to be that guy. But I was happy to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Which is
And
good.
that's-
You need them.
that's what
Every team needs them players.
I would never have
100%.
got as far as I did probably without it. Like it was what I was.
And leading into that game against the Titans, what was it? I'm keen to hear. Which year was that?
It was 07. So
So
that was
it
the year
was that
before 08. That was the year before that. So
Yeah.
I was playing well, and I had probably pocketed, put that aside a lot, that side of me, as much as I could. It always sort of popped up. But, yeah, that night was, the wife and kid, I just had my daughter, so they were up. I was actually looking at I was talking to the Titans the next day about going there.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, so mum and dad were down from Toowoomba. Wife was up with the kid because we were going to, with my management at the time, we're going to go and chat to the Titans. Early stages, probably would never have eventuated, but definitely not eventuate after that. I never got a phone call the next morning. I just said to the missus, we'll just go to the airport. It's not going to happen. So, no, it was just one of those things, that little red mist that you get. Like, he just grabbed me on the nuts at the time.
Yep.
Hindsight now, I've never spoken to him about it, but I don't know if it was on purpose or accident. Didn't feel like an accident.
Yep.
Yeah, you just get crazy. A good fucking grip. And
I could never remember anyone grabbing me on the nuts like that in the game. Like,
fucking oath.
Massage face and, a bit of, shit that goes on, but I can't ever remember.
And you think if it's an accident, like, you might get a thing, you'd probably drop off pretty quick.
It was a squeeze, if it was a proper squeeze, and like
you'd probably feel the difference.
You feel the difference when you get up and you got that, like, you've been hitting the nuts.
The definition of fuck around and find out.
Fucking oath, man. Yeah.
He did full sleep.
Yeah, so
like, there hasn't been many moments of like full sleep in the NRL. Like
I got him flush. That's right. That's for sure.
The old fucking goose. The old chin did the.
I was pretty pissed off, but the flip side of it was after was, like, obviously I got obviously cited for it, but he wanted to go further, and I just said, well, basically he's grabbed me first on the nuts. That was in my defence, and which was true, but basically the NRL got in contact with us and said, well, either we're gonna charge you, and he'll get off, and you'll probably get 5 to 6 weeks, and he'll get nothing, or he might get 2 or 3 weeks. You're looking at 10. That was the way it was sort of being pitched to me.
So if he's getting something, you're getting even more.
I'm going to get more.
Yeah, that's a bit
because that was worse than what he did, which is fair enough. It was, but that was what the trade-off was. And at the end of 7, I was off contract. As I said, I was talking to the Titans, so I couldn't fucking afford to have 10 weeks off. I had a baby, I had one on the way. Like,
needed another sort of contract.
I needed to play, so it was just like, oh, fuck that, then I'll just take. And I think I got it downgraded to 4 weeks. So a month
took it on the
off.
chin, probably the best.
I had
case scenario.
I couldn't, as I said, I couldn't sit out for 10 weeks. It wouldn't have ended well. I would have been back playing Q Cup or something. I wouldn't have got a contract.
Everyone has them bloody brain snaps.
Everyone, 100%. You're lying if you don't.
The wife never let me. She reminded me.
Had you ever spoken to the lad after or anything?
No, I haven't. I'm not bitter or anything. I've heard him talk on a podcast once, and he just is what it is sort of thing. He didn't seem to have any sour grapes about it.
But as a fan, it's like that. You fuck around, you do something like that, you deserve it. You know?
Like I heard Ben Ross
I think everyone backed you. Like most people as fans were like, fucking
all
legend.
the comments seemed.
That's what I thought at least. Maybe I'm a bit cooked.
Heard when Ben Ross and Tallis have spoken about that incident too, and it's like, whatever happens, sort of happens. You can't fucking dwell on it 20 years down the track.
That's right.
So, but that was pretty
fucking
funny.
Yeah, no, it's good because the daughter's obviously on social media and that now. That pops up every now and then. So it's good. Really? So maybe like their boyfriends will see it. And hopefully that just deters them from doing it.
As soon as you meet him, you just play that video.
Yeah, here, watch this, bud, before we even talk. Watch this.
Show them your 6 tries and your 1 knockout.
That'd be impressive, that.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That
was awesome.
So you ended up going to the Storm after that, 2011?
Yeah. So back end of 10... Well, during 10, they had all the salary cap stuff. So, end of 09, I left South and actually went to Cairns, back to Q Cup. I couldn't find an NRL club. So, I basically not retired, but sort of stepped back from the NRL. I had a sort of contract in England that sort of got last minute pulled. I had sold all our furniture and everything in anticipation that we
would have been cool
really.
if that come off.
Yeah, it would have.
How'd that come a bit like last minute? They just
global financial crisis hit. So end of 09 was global financial crisis, and it was Salford, and Sean McRae was a coach at South in 6 when I was there, and I didn't play very well at the start of that year. So he was reluctant to sort of take me, I think. But anyway, basically, because I had a family, that would have cost the club a lot more to get me there. Yeah. Whereas they started picking blokes from New South Wales Cup that were single. You know, you get 3 blokes because they could all live in one house, whereas I'm living in a house with my family. Anyway, that sort of all fell apart, and I went to Cairns last minute, signed at the Pride, rang Neil Henry and just said, I'm here. You know, if you get injuries or, during Origin or whatever, I'm here and I'm still available. I haven't retired. I still want to play NRL. I just can't find a club. And then halfway through that year at South, Ben Ross fractured his kneecap and couldn't play. They had a couple other front rowers down as well, like in the lower grades that were injured. So I was actually at the pub where I was working in Cairns. I was working at Brothers Leagues Club.
Oh, yeah.
And watching Friday night footy when Benny did it. So I thought, oh, fuck it. I picked up the phone and messaged Shane Richardson, the CEO, who I was good mates with. And I said, oh, I'm ready if you need me. As a bit of tongue in cheek, but I'll start fucking serious. Like, I wanted to start somewhere. Yeah. And
well, if you didn't send that message, who would have fucking, who knows
he
what?
Didn't reply, so I just thought, fuck it. The next day, he messaged me back, if you're serious, give me a call, something like that. So I rang him and I'm like, mate, I'm fucking in Cairns. I've spent all my fucking savings to get here to try and stay in the NRL. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I want to come back. Anyway, we played Burleigh that week. I'd agreed over the phone to fucking zero money, basically. But still hadn't told the missus any of this yet. That conversation was coming. I knew she was going to fucking flip. Told her, she flipped. Then, she sort of come around. She knew it was bothering me. I think she probably knew deep down that I had to fucking scratch that itch. Otherwise, it was going to fucking probably ruin me for the rest of my life. So she was happy. I went back down to South. Before I left, I had one more game with the Pride, and we played Burleigh, and I got in a punch up with Bodine Thompson. He was playing for Burleigh at the time, and he could fight. He punched the fuck out of me. My nose was like shattered like eggshells. Had fraction sort of eye socket under here. I had a broken hand as well. But both of us got suspended as well. So I've gone back down to South. I didn't tell Richo or South this. I've lobbed down there and I'm suspended for 4 weeks. So they've got me down there to cover guys. And I've lobbed there and I'm suspended.
Just playing dumb.
He fucking lost it. Like, he's just like, mate, you're here to fucking cover and you can't play. So it was actually a blessing in disguise because he said, you better fucking train your ass off for the next 4 weeks and fucking hit the ground running. Because fucking blah, blah, which was fair enough. It was fucking wrong. But I trained my ass off back in training with Grant Duthie, who was a trainer at South, so I used to love training with. Like, he was just awesome for me, the way he trained and the way he sort of motivated people. His style was like completely different to Bill, but got results. Like, he's sort of more of a nurturing sort of trainer. And we used to just train one-on-one. He actually signed up to do like a charity boxing fight with a Roosters trainer, South Roosters sort of night. So I trained him for that, just had a fat time with him. So we were training really hard, and got back, played a game against the Bulldogs, and just sort of come on 10 or 15 minutes and went all right. And then John Lang was the coach at the time. He started me the following week against West Tigers, and we beat the West Tigers. So we had 11 first graders out. Sammy Burgess, Dave Taylor, they were all out, and we beat a full strength West Tigers who were killing it at the time. On the buzzer in Golden Point. And that was my 100th NRL game. So that was cool. So I ticked that box. And then...
Fucking what a mad memory that is.
Yeah, that was fucking cool.
Working your way, like sort of dropping off, working your way back.
My brother was down there at the time, and he'd just come out of the Origin camp. So he was 18th man for game 3 in Origin. So he was on a mad high, and then he was in the team to play against West Tigers, which was my 100th game, and at the captain's run the night before, he broke his foot. He just went to take off and bone snapped in his foot. So he missed that game, which sucked, but the rest of it was pretty cool. And the way the game sort of finished was pretty awesome. But the following week after that, we played in Melbourne, and I got players player. Oh, yeah. So...
quick turnaround.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so we went to Melbourne down there. They beat us by 2, and that was when they were playing for no points. So it was a bit weird. But anyway... walking out of the sheds after, Craig grabbed me and he's like, look, are you keen to kick on? And I'm like, yeah, I am. But at that stage, I wasn't going to go for nothing because of the family and that. I thought, okay, I've had a second shot. Not many people get one shot. I've had 2. I thought, well, fuck it. If it can't be decent for my family to live on. And because they're coming out of that salary cap thing, I knew that it wasn't going to be much, but I knew a price in my head that I wanted. And thank God, spoke to Frank Panisi and got that sort of dollar figure, and then 2 years there was fucking best 2 years. I was
going to say, what's it like going into that system and culture that they've built? Like that club is just...
they've been at the top of the range.
Unbelievable.
As long as we've been alive.
Yeah.
It's all Craig, mate.
Is he just a genius? Really? Like, what's he like?
It's all him.
He knows what people to put around him for his shortcomings. He's always got a coach there that's sort of a little bit like when I was there, Kevy Walters was our assistant, so he would lighten the mood when it needed to be, and I think probably Munster plays that role now in the squad. You know, he can lighten the mood. He's got the balls.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a
Craig's
bit of a
probably
menace,
bit cranky.
Control.
He can sort of crack the ice a bit, like.
Yeah.
But I've never told this story. Where I sort of seen a different side of Craig was when we were living there. Our eldest was diagnosed with autism.
Okay.
So at that stage, like we were all sort of confused as to what to do, like whether we had to sort of go back to Queensland, set her up or whatever. But I thought I want to be part of it all. So I in my own head, I thought I'm going to go see Craig, and if the club can't sort of accommodate when I need to see doctors and whatever, then I'm just going to fucking quit. Like I'm not. I want to be there.
That's
for
your
that.
priority.
That's my
Yeah,
priority.
100% family.
So I went in and seen him, and I was fucking nervous because I didn't really want to quit. But I just said, mate, look, this is what's happened, and mate, he could not have been
That's
fucking more
awesome,
accommodating.
mate.
He's like, if you need to leave training mid training, you fucking go.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to explain yourself to me. You be there for your missus and your daughter, everything like and gave me phone numbers of friends of his who had kids with autism and like.
What a compassionate.
Ricky Stewart.
Yeah.
Ricky Stewart's daughter's got autism, so gave me Ricky's number to ring. I didn't end up ringing him because I sort of just wanted to sort of navigate it myself. But just the thought of him, you know, he was looking out for
Fully
me.
compassionate.
Rang and asked how things were throughout the year, but just those little things, I was ready to fucking do whatever he wanted me to do, like because he was so compassionate to me. I would have done anything for him, like. Within those 2 years that I was there, like, and outside of it.
That's how you get the best out of
Yeah.
your players,
each other with
employees,
compassion,
whoever.
eh?
If you're
Don't
a
worry, he
boss
could be a
or
tough
whatever,
old
you know?
bastard too. Like he fucking gave me some ripper sprays.
Yeah.
Like, it was,
Just shred you.
but he knew. He just knows how to get the best out of people, and he does have a lot of empathy. It's not put on. He's not doing it to try and get me to play footy well.
Yeah,
He genuinely cared about me and Geordie and my wife, and like even when I retired, he would ring out of the blue, not all the time, but you know, just how's things, how's life, how's work, you know, just stuff like that. Like, fucking means so much, you know.
What top bloke.
And I was never a star. Like he's coached teams with packs full of stars.
And at that
like, I was
time
a
too, with
fringy,
all
at
the
best. So
Smith, Cronk and everything. Yeah.
I think he sees himself in those guys. As a player, he was probably that guy. So he probably does have a bit more of an understanding of that fringe sort of, you know, not in the top squad all the time, but that sort of fringe player. So he was always pretty compassionate.
fucking
It's
awesome
paid,
to hear,
paid
eh?
off for him too.
Yeah, and he, as I said, nothing about him is not genuine. Everything is genuine. Like he genuinely cares about all his players.
You hear that about the top coaches across all sports. I feel like they're like, it's like they're people managers. They're so good.
really good people
They're
skills.
so good at dealing with people. It might not be the tactics. You obviously got to have all that sort of brainwave as well, I suppose. But people, dealing with people is how you get the best out of someone.
Absolutely.
And showing that care.
Man, I didn't know that about Bellamy at all.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah,
I like
he's
the Storm a
pretty
little bit more
incredible.
now. Eh? The Storms.
The Storms. Yeah.
Storms.
He's
That's awesome, man.
He, as I said, he's very smart, but he knows his shortcomings and he puts the right people in those places.
Yeah.
So he's very, very defence style coach. Yeah. So he's got a grasp on that. The attack side of it, he's probably very conservative. Like he probably just tuck it under the arm and run it. You know what I mean? Like, but he knows he needs that sort of outward thinker. So he'll get an assistant coach that's got a bit of flair, you know, like and wants to play footy, and you know he knows what to put around him.
How much input did them lads like Slater and Buddy
huge.
Cronk and all that have?
Huge.
Like if you're saying, you know, attacking wise, he was a bit more conservative. Did they just fucking you know,
they
push hard for certain plays, or
Bill
just
would.
come up with stuff? Like,
Bill would like
he's
Cooper's
just a full genius, eh? or
he's
what?
a freak. But he's a risk taker too, whereas Cooper's not. Like Cooper's very conservative. He's probably more like Craig.
Okay.
We'll just defend our way out of it. Whereas Bill,
Takes those little
he wants to take a risk.
chip
Like,
and
he's
chase,
like,
man. Origin.
all
One of
those
the best
little
tries.
short
I was
balls
at that game.
Chip and
Were you?
chase. Yeah, were you really?
Sick, bro.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Were you
would
near
have
it?
been 13 or
Yep.
Were you
14
near
or something.
near that corner where he scored?
Yeah,
or-
no, I was sort of halfway.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
where the break sort of
Yeah,
started,
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
and then took the kick.
Well, that's the definition of what you're saying.
It's
Talking about
iconic,
chip and
that.
chase, like that kind of
Yeah,
risk taking.
yeah,
It's makes for good footy too.
And it would backfire. I remember the 08 World Cup final with
Throw it,
Australia,
yeah.
threw
Yeah,
the ball in,
yeah.
and Benji
True.
scored.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but that's the yin and yang of like
Exactly.
that risk take.
Yeah,
It's
true.
like gambling. You take the risk, you can lose, you can win.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
whereas Cooper was probably, and Smithy was just, he was just a fucking genius. Like 'cause I grew up playing with Smithy. Like we're the same age, so
Oh, yeah.
as
Oh,
a
did you?
kid, yeah,
Before
back,
yeah,
so I
right.
knew Smith. So we had a really good junior reps. There was Thurston, Smith.
all
Crowe,
from around that
Slater,
same area.
all
yeah.
the same age.
Southeast
Nah,
Queensland,
all
or-
Queensland. So,
Oh,
Bill
okay.
and that were up here.
Yep.
They
They got the same birthday, eh?
Yeah,
Born exact
yeah.
same day, same birthday as me,
Yeah.
18th of June.
Yeah.
Billy Slater and Cameron Smith.
Oh,
but
true.
them two actually full same birthday.
Wow. Same
Yeah.
year and everything.
Same day,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, everything.
I think they were both born in Brizzy too.
Oh, yeah.
Not far
18th
apart.
of June,
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah,
which is
mad
pretty
little
amazing,
sort
eh?
of
Yeah.
group
That-
coming through.
That age group were quite strong.
Yeah.
With all those guys, but none of them you would have ever looked at back then and said, "Oh, superstar."
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean? Like they're probably the mid pack. There were other guys where you
Goes-
went, "Nah, he's a superstar," but then they didn't even end up
Goes to
making
show
any
that
going anywhere. but
that
yeah.
that like drive and effort sometimes being naturally talented can be a burden.
Yeah,
You know, because
exactly,
people just have that drive when they don't have that natural
Yeah.
talent.
They get the natural talent and everything comes a bit easier. It's like when you see parents now, they'll come up to me and go, "Oh, my son he's going to be the next, this and that."
Yep.
And he's like 9.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit. He's not met girls yet. He's not met
exactly.
alcohol.
Yeah.
He's not met all that stuff. There's lots of variables can happen.
And that's often what does set them
yeah,
players
Yeah.
aside, isn't it? Just that determination and get away from all them distractions and
Yeah.
making it through the other side.
yeah. I don't think I don't have boys, but I don't think I'd shield my son from it. I'd just try and get in his head how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like you can't shield.
You can't block it
shield
completely,
young
eh?
blokes from that.
Yeah.
That's what they want to do. You know, young blokes are risk takers. Like
Yep,
by
definitely.
nature, they want to.
And if you try
I wanna
shielding
drink.
it might make them rebel and want to do it even more. You
It's
know?
just an understanding, I
Yep.
suppose. But Jesus, raising daughters is harder, I think.
yeah, I think it would be.
What do you out of all them lads? It might be a hard question and stuff, but like, who's the best? Yeah,
Oh, Smith.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Goat?
Smithy's the best of everything.
go.
You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He's got all the records to prove it, to all the stats.
Especially how many games and how many points he scored.
Yeah.
Just longevity. Like,
Yeah.
what was his?
Did he crack 400? He did.
Yeah, 450 games. And you got to incorporate too. He played nearly 50 origins.
Yeah.
40
Tests.
origins, 50 tests.
Tests.
There's another 40 or more NRL games he missed because you can't play that
Yeah,
week in
yeah.
NRL
When you come after the
you
origin.
come
So he could have nearly cracked 500.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd
Plus,
never be
then
broken.
say
That'd
he's
never be
played
broken.
600 or 700 top grade.
They worked
fucking
out
games.
he had spent in his career 2 years in Origin camp.
That's crazy.
So it's a 10-day camp,
Yep.
3 times a year, so there's 30 times he was involved in Origin for nearly 14 years.
that's when
So
they
it's nearly 2. That was why the NRL bought Barb the ring. Remember that a couple of years ago? And there was big
No.
blow-ups about it. The NRL bought his wife Barb a ring just as a thank you, like, because how much
okay.
Smithy
Yeah,
had
right.
contributed to the game,
Yep.
being in camps and being away from home all the
Yeah.
time. And there was big blow-ups over it.
Yeah,
So
right.
fucking
people
who
trying to say
cares?
favoritism and all that kind
Yeah,
of shit.
salary
Yeah.
cap shit. And
Oh, yeah,
fucking all
yep.
this other wank stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, man, he was that Queensland era was fucking unreal too.
never again.
Yeah.
They'll never see that again.
Yep.
And they didn't. The most incredible thing about that whole streak is they never pumped New South Wales. New South Wales were in most.
Yeah.
Like there was games where they blew out, here and there. But as far as the series goes, there was moments where it could have gone either way.
Yeah, it was close.
But that's class.
They just
Yep.
knew how to
Class
win in the
rose.
end.
They just
Composed.
knew what to do,
Yep.
when to do it, and it would have been a nightmare playing against them because
Yep.
they're just too good. Yeah.
Plus
Now
just-
they're doing it as coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Next era, eh? bud?
Yeah, crazy.
It'd be crazy to see like years down the track if Smithy ever gets into coaching.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Like,
I
yeah,
don't think,
Keys
any
more
of them will.
yeah, they've done that. They've
I
had
think
enough.
they get their footy fixed with their commentating and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
and especially Bill gets it with Origin. He's the head coach there, but it's you have to be a different breed. You have to want to be a coach.
Yeah.
And commentating's a skill in itself, man.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a hectic skill. Who's your favourite commentator, you reckon?
Um,
Of over all time?
Oh, Ray.
Yeah, you can't beat him, mate.
Mate, when
It was a horror movie.
when you hear him say your name, it's like a surreal moment.
Yeah.
Like if you see a game back,
Just
Friday
that
night
tone
game,
and everything.
and you hear Ray Warren call your name, like you grow up listening to Tests, Origins, NRL games, Grand Finals, and it's always Ray Warren. He is the voice of footy.
Yeah.
Rabs the
And
man.
then he says your name when you're playing in a game.
That'd be surreal, eh?
It's
like
incredible.
kind of
It's crazy.
pinch yourself. Like, what the
100%.
fuck?
It's a pinch yourself moment. So
Yeah, well.
speaking of goats, he'd be the go-to commentators.
Yeah.
I like Andy Raymond. Andy Raymond's awesome.
Yeah.
He does the boxing and that too, obviously.
Yeah.
Andy's a
Andy is
champion
good.
bloke and he's a great commentator. He just calls the game. But he has his little opinions here and there, but he doesn't push his opinions. I think sometimes
some people do get really
you can
one-sided.
tell,
Eh?
yeah.
I see it in obviously I watch UFC a lot,
Yeah.
and I see it in DC with the wrestlers.
Yeah.
He's always
Yeah.
sucking off anyone with
Favoritism.
wrestling
Yeah.
backgrounds.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck off, DC. Even like I love Joe Rogan. Even Joe gets like
Yeah.
really biased to the BJJ fellas.
Yeah.
You know, but it'd be hard not to. But
Yeah. It's the favoritism would poke up here and there.
Yeah.
I think there is a few with a few agendas that sort of push their opinions a bit.
Yep.
What about get to the big moment, 2012 GF?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Surreal. Talk
unreal.
about surreal moments.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't remember much of it. Like I wish I could remember more. I remember when the siren went because I was on the sideline. It was a close game, but I knew sort of 3 or 4 minutes out we were going to win. Like we were 10 up, so started to relax a little bit then. But before that, it was just I sat the bench for the last 20. I think I came off 15 minutes into the second half and sat the bench for like 25 and just remember just fucking staring at the clock, just wanted it to go quicker. Like just like come on, tense moments. But yeah, when the siren went, that was incredible. Seeing mum and dad and that in the grandstand was pretty special as well. Like the old boy's pretty staunch. He doesn't but he had tears in his eyes and that sort of stuff. That stays with you forever. Yeah.
Fairy tale.
Before the game, South, that was our home ground, a core, like when I was playing at South. So, but fuck, we'd never get any more than probably 10, 12,000 to an 80,000 seat stadium. But at the ground, they got these sort of timber lockers that you sit in. You sort of sit in your own little locker. And I remember sitting in it, but when we got to the ground and sort of threw your bag in and that, and I was sitting there sort of doing something, taking shoes off or doing something, and I could feel the locker shake, like vibrating from the noise, like. And because I'd played so many games there, I felt familiar. But then that
felt that before.
never felt that, obviously.
Full stadium.
And that was like the penny drop. Like fuck, this is big. You know, like it's a big crowd.
Gladiator moment.
Yeah. It's like because I'd never obviously experienced that. I just remember sitting there thinking, fucking Jesus, you know, this is it. Sort of
Like
snapped
or
you out
what,
of it.
man?
I was just. It was my last game as well, so I had that bit of a.
So that actually was your last game.
That was my last game in the NRL.
Best
I
way to end
decided halfway through that year I was going to retire. So
cherry on top. End with cherry on top.
So I knew it was my last one. So I knew it was going to be my only shot.
You just go
Fuck, that's
balls
cool.
to the wall, every time you touched it.
And I knew the team we had were a chance. Like sometimes you could probably get to that moment, I assume, and you're in a team where you're like, fuck, how did we get here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you're probably not going to win, but I knew.
Belief,
You're looking around, looking at the blokes we had in our team. You're just like, fuck, we can't lose. Like, these blokes will just make something happen.
Yep.
So. But yeah, no, that was all I remember. Is the fucking timber of it shaking, and then just going, Jesus, this is a big moment. But
many moments
actual
throughout the game you don't
remember any of them. Man,
Bit of a
really.
blur, eh?
The whole
Probably
thing
just
is a
adrenaline,
blur.
just
yeah.
Turn it to blur.
Yeah, it was a really, really. It didn't. Oh, you know, you picture it as a kid being in that moment.
Yeah.
It was nothing like that. It was just you had your job to do, and you're thinking. I wished I could go back and just from like a fucking third party and just watch and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like and just, but you're in the moment. You don't really enjoy it until the siren went. Then it was pretty fucking enjoyable 3 days after that. I was actually on my way to Moranbah to start work.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like I had to snap out of it real quick, but which was a bit of a suck. Like I didn't really get the whole week. So the Thursday they always go to Molly Meldrum's house
Oh, right.
for a party. So every year
What,
after the
any
season.
grand final winner?
No, just every year. Molly's a mad Storm
righto.
fan. Yeah,
Oh,
like,
just Storm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Loves
righto.
the Storm. Loves the Storm and St Kilda. So he's got a house. Fuck, I don't think it's in St Kilda somewhere, and it's done up like Cleopatra, like the
Really?
pyramids and that. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like he's got all this memorabilia and shit in there. He's got above it, so it's just like your kitchen, man. Like it's just a normal like kitchen, and on the wall above he still had a landline phone, sorry, and just above it is like a napkin and it's signed by all the Beatles.
Oh,
Like
shit.
he's just got
kidding.
memorabilia. He's got like Cyndi Lauper and Madonna and like all this memorabilia everywhere. But then just in his kitchen, like this standard like Kmart frame, this napkin that's like thanks for the tour, Molly. Or he must have looked after.
Fuck, he would have met some people.
Oh,
over the years.
imagine he would have met everyone. Like
So they still do that now.
yeah.
After
After the season, you always have a do at Molly's, and because we'd won the grand final, obviously, he put a good show on for the boys after the grand final. So I missed that because I had to be in Moranbah to start work. So which sucked. The first
what
couple
an
of days
unbelievable
after.
moment though. Like how many players go through
Their
their
whole career
careers and don't even
never get it.
Yeah,
So
pretty
that's
special.
Pretty
Pretty lucky to be in a good team and to be, have my role within that team. But what I'd done to get to that moment, like going to Cairns, then going to Sydney without Tish and the kids, and then rolling the dice really because no one knew how Melbourne were going to bounce back after the salary cap stuff. They lost half their squad. Like everyone was expecting them to run last, and they still had the big three, but they thought they'd be too big. We ended up winning the minor premiership in 11. We only lost like 3 games, and then in 12 we had a few injuries throughout the year and we lost a few more games, but then we ended up winning the comp. So
what a crazy
amazing 2 years.
to top off that last game though, that just sort of rose up. You dropped off, fucking had to work your way back, and then fucking ended with the big one.
That's what made it so much more special for me.
And a lot of people don't end it like that too.
No, not many people get a chance at a grand final, so it was very lucky, very special.
That's awesome, man. And then you came out of it in boxing?
Did you
have a break
really,
before?
Yeah, big break. I went into the mines, worked in the mines, then got my job up here. But it was just something I always wanted to do. Like I was a Rocky
training
fan
off and on for years.
Yeah, I was training on and off and all that, but always sort of wanted to get in the ring. And I did it at the end of 14. I did like a charity, the same one that Grant Duthie, my trainer that I trained with, the Roosters South, have a PCYC night, and they always cross over. So I ended up fighting Andrew Sullivan, who was like a lower grades footballer, and that at the Roosters we had like a charity, 16-ounce clubs, all that sort of stuff. And I thought, that'd be fun just to do that. And it didn't sort of scratch the itch. It's not what I wanted to really do. Like I wanted to have a
not competitive enough.
When COVID hit, man, that's what sort of went. I don't want to have any fucking regrets in life. I've always wanted to do it. I'm going to fucking do it. So I put it out there. I spoke to No Limits, spoke to other promoters, get me something, anything. Never sort of eventuated to anything. So Brendan Smith, TGW and Toowoomba, they put on some really cool nights. And being in Toowoomba, like hometown, I thought I'll do that. Like let's scratch this itch. So end up fighting Johnny Mailer, who's up and coming at the moment. Like he's big banger, and everyone told me I was fucking nuts for doing it. But I didn't want.
You don't want to go over there.
I didn't want to go in it just to tick a box and fight some fat, slow,
aim high,
just a gimmick. And then knock him out in the first round. Well, what's that going to prove? Well, what are you proving there? Nothing. So when he popped up, I said to Smithy, well, let's do it. And I was shitting myself because I'm thinking, fuck, I probably bit off more than I could chew. He's like 10 years younger. He's been training properly. But I did. It made me train properly. I loved it, man. I loved everything about it. Like I was trying. I spoke to Gonzo. So me and Gonzo had always talked about having a fight where he would train me for a fight. So that was awesome to spend a good 6 weeks with him. Training properly. I said to him, he goes, what do you want out of there? And I said, I want to train like a boxer. I want to make it as genuine as possible. So that was awesome. I loved it. And then went down and had the fight. And the Takiaho thing was sort of
that was the one I was gonna say. Like I don't really remember him that much.
So he played at the Roosters. He was a good player. He still is a good player. Still playing now in England.
Oh, is he?
He's at Catalan. So he's a really good player, but he had a bit more of a probably street rep.
Yeah, they were raving on about him, and no one wanted to fight him, this and that.
So long story short, before that, I'd had another charity fight in Cairns, just for a mates. It was like a men's mental health night. So I ended up fighting Aaron Ketchell. It was like a regional cowboy, and me and Ketch it was just basically a glorified sparring session. But Trent was up there promoting Hodjo's last fight with Gal. So I spoke to Trent And I said to him, mate, I'm still keen. If there's something pops up, I'd love to have a crack, like a proper, on the big show. And he's like, yeah, he goes, we get these guys come up and talk to us about this stuff, and we ring them up and they just piss up their guts and don't want to do it.
All talk,
When it comes time to do
yeah,
it,
so I'm like, mate, well, I won't do that, but just keep me in mind, sort of thing, and just left it. Anyway, I was at work 2 weeks later and get this phone call and didn't know the number, and I fucking never ever answer numbers I don't know, but I was like, oh, and I answered, I was like, hello, and he said, oh mate, it's Trent. And I was like, oh mate, how you going? He's like, yeah, look, he goes, we've got Hodjo's and Gals fight next week, and we've got one of the boys coming back from the World Cup, and he goes, he's keen to jump in the ring. Are you keen? I'm like, it's fucking 6 days away. Like in the back of my head, I had him saying, we ring these guys and they won't fight. So in the back of my head, I'm going, I can't say no. And then I was like, oh, who am I fighting? And he's like, I can't tell you yet. Because
really?
he hasn't agreed to it and this and that.
Yeah.
And
so you didn't even know.
So I didn't even know. And he was like, I need a yes or no now. And I'm like, fucking hell.
They probably wanted you to say yes first so they can get back to him. We got this old fat.
yeah. So I just said, but I'm keen to do it. So let's do it. So I thought, well, I'm never going to get another shot like this on a main event card and all that. Like, I'm not a boxer. It's just
something you wanted to do.
Yeah, it's something I wanted to do. And I thought, oh, fuck it, I'll do it. So I said yes. Once again, in the back of my head, don't want to have regrets. So I was like, fucking, let's do it. So said yes. And then he's like, right. And he rang back 20 minutes later, goes, right, you'll fight Siwa Takiyaha. And I'm like, fucking course it is. Can't it just be some fucking winger or something like that? But, and he's like, yeah, next Wednesday, we'll sort it out. We'll send you the contract, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, sweet. So the next phone call rang Gonzo.
Yeah.
And he was good. Like, Gonzo's always been 100% honest with me. And I rang him and I said, what are you doing next Wednesday? And he's like, no, nothing. He goes, nothing. Why? And I was like, we're going to Sydney for a fight. He's like, who's fighting? And I said, I'm fighting. And he goes, no, you're fucking not. Like, straight away, no, you're not. You're not fucking fighting. He goes, you haven't been training. You haven't done this. You haven't done that. And then he's like, who are you fighting? And I said, Siwa Takiyaha. He goes, who the fuck's that? And I said, so he played for the Roosters and that. He goes, yeah. He goes, what's he been doing? I said, he's been in the World Cup. He's been playing for Tonga in the World Cup. He goes, fucking fight him. He won't be fight fit. And then he's just changed like that. True. And then that sort of half sparked me like, yeah, maybe. Yeah. He wouldn't have been training. Like, even if he's done some boxing, he's been playing footy. Like, he's not been training like a boxer. So then Gonzo sort of flipped it then, and we went and sparred that afternoon. Fucking felt terrible, but I tried to look as sharp as I could because I didn't want Gonzo to say, nah, you're not doing it. Because if he'd have said that, I wouldn't have done it. Like, I respect him that much. And if he'd have said, no, you're not, you can't, it's too risky, whatever, I would have just went, okay. So it was good to have his backing, and off we went to Sydney a week later and fucking jumped in. It was so good, man. Just loved everything about it. The only little regret is I out of footy didn't take it more seriously and done it. I'd just done it then.
Straight away sort of thing.
Yeah, because I was 40, so it's like, it had passed. It was that's why I took it too, because it was never going to come up again. So, but yeah, that was pretty cool. Awesome experience, and seeing how it sort of works up, the bright lights and whatnot. So it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Trip away with Gonzo. So Gonzo's my uncle, who's just a mad old bastard. Lives and breathes boxing, been around forever.
Yeah, loves it.
But honest as, blunt as a sledgehammer.
So I loved about him. First time I met him, I wanted to do some training. Me and Bill were training, and Bill said, you need to get into a gym and start doing some sparring and start getting, because it's so good for your fitness and that. I've always loved doing it.
Translates very well over
it does.
footy.
Yeah. So I met Gonzo at the Newmarket Hotel. I was on the piss one night and bumped into him and sort of knew who he was and that, and spoke to him and said, I'd love to come in and train. He's like, yeah, come in. He's just been so good to me and for me ever since. So I was never going to do it without him. Yeah, it was good.
Sort of good to get his blessing then when he said he won't be training.
He just
give you that.
He's such a spaghetti brain sometimes, but like it's just like he's gone from you can't do it to like fight him. You got to click the switch like that. But that was good because then that gave me confidence. It was like, well, fuck yeah, he could be right here. Like he's been training for footy. He's been at a World Cup. He's been overseas. He won't be fight fit.
Fuck, that'd be a different sort of pressure too. Hopping in the ring by yourself, where footy's a team. Team sort of.
I'm glad I had that first fight in Toowoomba because I remember there was a lot of hype about it, more about John because he was a big knockout artist and all that, and had a lot of family and that there. But got in the ring, and after all the bullshit leading up to it, it's like ding ding, and it's just me and him.
Yeah.
Like it's that feeling. It's like fuck, it's just me and you now. Like, and
In the moment.
that was such a shock after all the footy I'd played and some big games and all the rest of it. It was completely different. It's just like, well, you haven't got a fucking teammate to help you now. You're gonna have to go perform.
Nothing else.
And that's what I love about it. It's the ultimate challenge. It's just and it was so good to have that experience. And then in Sydney, I just enjoyed the whole thing. Like it was. I hadn't trained, so there was no pressure. There was no pressure on me. They were talking, like you say, they were talking him up so much. The pressure was all on him.
Yeah, true.
So it was just like, well, get in there and have a scrap and see what happens. So,
Talking about brawls and fights, what about the I should have brought this up early, the Battle of Brookvale.
The big
What about that night? You were in that game.
Yeah, that was
you get
that was
amongst
a
it?
crazy night.
Yeah. That was a weird night.
Who kicked it off? Blair and
No, it was Ryan Hinchcliffe and Darcy Lussick.
Was there two original instigators?
Yeah, so Hinchy got tackled and sort of struggling to get up. He's thrown his elbow up. He hit Darcy in the chin. And I've met Darcy in that since. Once again, fucking champion.
He seems like a real
I used to
American,
fucking
that
hate
fella.
him, but he's a champion fella. But he's hit Hinchy once again. Fucking one of my favourite teammates, legend. But Hinchy's just elbow. Darcy sort of giving him an open slap on the head, and like we were talking about before, back then there was no fucking around. They got up and they just into it. But there was a big crackdown in that year on third man.
People coming in, yeah.
So Blairy came in from us, and the first person from Manly in there was Glenn Stewart. So after they've sort of had their little scrap, they've given Glenn 10, and I started that game. So by then, back into that second half, I was on the bench. So I was on the sideline standing up watching it all. And then I seen Glenn gets 10, so I'm watching him walk off. And as he's walking off, you could see him the whole time looking over his shoulder, like he was waiting for Larry.
Because they sent him off pretty
close together, which now, after that night now, the other guy's got to be off and nearly up the tunnel.
Oh, okay.
But still don't matter, because remember, what about the other week?
Yeah,
that
guy and I think he would have gotten the shit for that referee, because they want them completely separated when they're walking off because of what happened that night. But and then obviously Blairy got 10. Blairy just starts jogging off like normal. And I just remember saying, it's like the whole night was weird. Like, and I've heard other people talk about it, so it wasn't just me, but you just had this feeling. It was just this fucking menacing feeling in the air that night.
For years,
they
Manly and Storm were like the two top dogs.
Absolutely.
They had so many good battles on the on the scoreboard and on the field.
So it was brewing.
And that sort of was a build up and just added to it.
Friday night at Brookie, like the Northern Beaches, blokes, there would have been people knocking off at 2 straight in the pub. The game kicks off at 8, so they're fucking well lubricated. Like, and the whole crowd was it was just different. They
tense feeling.
Fucking, they hated us. So it was there was that feeling. And then when that kicked off,
So it's sort of they met up, and then there ended up being heaps of Manly lads in quickly,
Manly,
and Storm took a bit longer, hey?
Because it happened on like sort of halfway. So
and Storm were on their
we were
line,
on our
10 metres or something.
They were back because they got the penalty as well, because Hinchy did the elbow. So when it kicked off, they got there first.
Yep.
So there was 4 or 5 of them on Blairy.
Well, Brett ran in first, was it?
Yeah, Brett got there first. He did the big jump over the top. I don't know what he was doing, but he jumped over the top. And I remember, so Blairy lived near us in Melbourne, so we'd become quite close. His wife and my wife would go to the gym together, and we'd go to their house for barbecues, and we socialised a lot. Yep. So it's that same feeling of like when you see your mate.
Yeah.
It's all
everything just goes fucking boof. You go to help your mate. Like that's what it was like. And I do not know how in that moment, maybe I was older and wiser, but when I got there, I remember looking, because usually I'm just fucking tunnel vision. I remember looking and thinking, if I don't, like logically in that moment, it's just not me, but I remember thinking, if I don't go over the sideline or if I don't go on the field, I'll be okay. Because I wasn't on the field at the time, if I just stayed off the field,
you can't get in trouble.
So first person I grabbed, I had no intention on throwing punches because I knew I'd come from the bench. I knew if I threw punches, I was going to be in some fucking shit. So the first person I grabbed and pulled back happened to be Anthony Watmo.
Oh,
and me and him had history.
Oh,
so as junior rep stuff, we always used to punch on.
Yeah.
So when of all people I could have grabbed, I didn't even think of it, but I've grabbed him and pulled him back. And then when I seen who it was, I thought, fuck. he's going to want to throw down for sure. But he didn't. He's just like, get off me.
He's
like,
probably thinking, fuck, we punched on too much.
we're done. We've sorted our shit out or whatever. But then after that, I thought, well, he's not going to fight, so I'll just hold him. And then by that stage anyway, all our lads had got there and it was just fucking chaos. But yeah, then I remember just thinking, get out of fucking the shot, get out of the way. So I just retreated back towards the bench. But funnily enough, when the fucking sheet come out to reprimand everyone and put everything out, Cecil Wanga got suspended because he went on the field. Whereas Sika Manu, me and Brian Norrie didn't. Yep. We stayed off.
All paid off.
So what I was thinking in my head in that moment fucking helped because I didn't get suspended. I got a letter of warning, but no suspension. Blairy got suspended obviously and all that. But yeah, no, it was a crazy nightmare. I remember sitting back on the bench after it all. They obviously brought them back out and sent them off not to come back. And then after that, it died down. They went back to playing footy, but the crowd didn't simmer at all.
Yeah, it's interesting to
still pumped up the whole time.
Interesting to hear that before too. There was sort of that tense feeling. It was like it was brewing almost.
It was the feeling like when you go into a pub and there's some riff-raff in there and you got mates that aren't going to fucking take a backward stand. You just know something's about to kick off. It had that feeling about it. Like it was really tense and it was weird. And then when it did, it was like that feeling when you see your mate in a punch-up in a pub or something. It's just like, go. Get in there and help him. It was crazy. I thought I dead set went back to the bench after it all happened. I thought the crowd was going to come over the fence. I thought this is going to get out of hand because they were going off. And
what ended up happening at the end of the game? Did you win?
No, they beat us. So we had a few out. We didn't go into it with a full strength side. As I said, I started because I think Jesse was out with an ankle, and we had quite a few out, but. That was like the top of the table class, Eric. We were both expected to be in the grand final that year. Manly had won it. Oh, no, sorry. They won at the end of that year, So we were minor premiers and they were favourites. So it was, top of the table. So that all added in with the hatred and...
It's the biggest...
Was it still normal afterwards, like shake hands? Did they sort of try to keep you away after?
I don't think Blairy and that came out. I'm pretty sure Blairy just stayed in the sheds for his own safety. Because you used to have to walk to your bus...
The crowd were just fucking
Brookie, so the people leaving the ground, we waited there for a while until most of the crowd had gone, I think.
It's the biggest brawl I can remember.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's the one that comes up a lot.
There was the other one in Origin, Wally Lewis days, whatever it was.
No, the one where John's got sat on his ass.
That was a big one.
But that's probably number one biggest brawl. I think
Greg Dowling and Tamati in the test when they were headbutting each other. They got sent off. It was probably a little bit more like that one. Like they'd both been met up halfway. And
which made it, that's what made it epic.
It's pretty cool to look back and be part of that because it comes up. But it's a little bit hypocritical, I reckon, because whenever Manly now play Melbourne, so we've banned punching, we've banned all these things.
Yeah.
But when the promotional stuff comes up,
it's that
fight that shows. They show it straight away.
It is funny like that. Like they've banned so many things, but
they'll
promotional things is the big hits and the fucking big collisions, the fights.
Exactly.
That's
true.
Right.
Anyway, it still gets brought up, so it's pretty cool.
I fucking hated the Stewart brothers,
Yeah,
especially after that night.
We've spoken about this before.
After that night, old mate running in, Brett,
I
did
as well. Yeah, I did as well. But then Gifty Glenn ended up over at South, the back end of his career with my brother, and my brother and him got along really well. And I remember talking to Ben going, fucking talking to him. Anyway, Ben's like, nah, he goes, wait till you meet him. And when I was in Moranbah, there's a group of us used to fly down and go to a game every year, and I'd see my brother, and we'd all do a bit of a boys trip and that. And one of the boys was a mad Roosters fan, and Manly played Roosters, so we went to the South game on the Friday night, went to Brookie on the Saturday night to go watch that. So we met at the Manly Wharf Bar, and Gifty come over with Luke Burgess and that, and we all got on the piss there. And mate, he is the fucking best bloke. He is dead set champion. But we spoke about that night, and then I just said, fuck, I hated you and your brother. And he's like, oh, I fucking hated you as well. Like,
it happens so often, doesn't it?
It does. You fucking
you got this opinion made up for someone.
I had that happen in primary school back in the day out in Charters. Got on a punch on with one fella. A year later, we're best mates.
That's it. I nearly had the same experience. I had a mate, my best mate now, Scotty Samuels. We were doing ball boy at Athletic Oval for like a Q Cup game or something when we were kids. We're only like 10, 11. And I ended up throwing sand in his face because I was a sand boy before there was a kicking tee. And we got in an
The old
argument.
sand
over
boy.
Sand
something.
boy's better than ball boy.
Yeah. Well, I just grabbed a handful of sand, and when I went to punch him, I just let the sand go into his face.
The old
He's
sand
trying
blast
to fight me
distraction.
half blind because he's got sand all over his face. Mate, we ended up playing footy. He ended up coming to Newtown, my club. And we ended up in high school together. We ended up best mates.
Good mates,
to now.
It just happens, eh? It's like you get that tension out of the way or something, then you kind of respect each other a bit.
Boys and men deal with shit.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
Just do it and fucking get over it, sort of thing. So,
Awesome. So I reckon we'll finish with our guest questions. We've got some
here we
recurring
go.
questions we're trying to ask guests. I actually don't have them written down,
I'll forget 'em, but
yeah,
I'll
I think I got them, even if we miss a couple. If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
oh shit, chicken. Love chicken. I could eat chicken.
What kind of
That's
chicken?
it,
Fried
yeah.
chicken?
Yeah, red
All
rooster.
sorts?
Red
Well, that's the
rooster.
thing. There's so many
rooster is
different
good.
types of chicken.
You could do
I
anything
suppose.
with chicken, but if it was any particular type of chicken, it'd be like a red rooster roast chicken. Just it's fucking nice, so nice.
Yeah.
Always juicy and tasty, and I just
Good
love
choice.
it.
Um,
KFC would end up fucking wearing a bit thin. I think it's a bit too greasy.
Grease City.
Feel a little bit healthier eating red rooster.
what's the shittiest or like most awkward situation you've been in? If you can,
That's a hard one, eh?
think of.
Yeah, wow, that's a good question, eh?
That one is a hard one because
Yeah.
you also don't want to roast yourself too much, eh?
Oh no, I'm happy to do that. I just really can't. I can't think of an embarrassing one. I don't get embarrassed that easy, to be honest. So like, I put myself in embarrassing moments to embarrass my daughters and that.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
It's a bit like that, but
Shame 'em out.
Probably any time that I did mess up playing and it made papers and their mum and dad read it or something like that. Like that's always, to disappoint your parents is probably the worst you can do. So probably that Brisbane one we spoke about where I got in trouble, and that was all on the front page of the papers in Sydney, like all they had photos on the front page of the Daily Telegraph, and it was a bit of a big story at the time, which fucking must have been a slow news week. It's not that big a deal, really. But yeah, no, that sort of stuff. When you disappoint your parents is always embarrassing, and you have that shame attached with it. So yeah, probably just something like that.
What's your favourite quote?
Yeah,
One of them, I
well,
think
yeah.
that's
What's
what I
your
remember.
what's your favorite
Quote,
quote
that's a
or
good
like a motto that you might
Yeah,
live
or
by?
mantra or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I love quotes. I love reading all that sort of stuff on social media. What's my favourite?
It's hard, eh? There's some good ones out there.
Fuck, there is some good ones. I'd have a favourite. I think Tom Hanks said it once. Just wait, like give everything time. Like I can't remember where it is. He said it way cooler than that.
Yeah.
It's something about just
So he didn't say it like Forrest Gump.
just wait. It's
Just
about
wait,
just
man.
being probably humble in moments and that. Like just wait. Like he says something about you think you got your life together and you think everything's going well. Just give it time. Like basically, don't get ahead of yourself.
Don't
and
rush
then,
into
then the flip side, you think everything's going to shit and nothing's working out for you. Just wait. Just
Yeah,
give
it sort
things
of works
time,
on
sort
both
that.
ends of the
That's
spectrum,
right,
doesn't
yeah.
it?
So just
Yep.
live in the moment, sort of thing, and just
Soak
take
it
your
up.
time with things.
Soak it up, yeah.
Good times, and then don't get too down in the bad
Yeah, things
times.
could be
Things
shit.
will work
If
out.
you just
yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
it'll get better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
No, that's awesome.
Said it cooler than that, as I said.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't
It's hard to
remember.
remember quotes word for
Oh,
word.
it is. And as I said, I love them. So I've got
Yeah.
a million in my head. but
Like
I
there's the
can't-
classic one, was it Ali? Muhammad Ali, don't count the days, make the days count or something. That one's all
I love
like
that.
that's
I
a
had that
classic
on a
one.
poster in my
And
gym for
it's funny, I
years.
got one that like two of my most favorite sayings by Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Of all people, he's got the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency, and I just love that quote. It's
100%.
more about like that's like a
That's so
compassionate
good.
sort of quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of my favorites is it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice.
Yeah, that's similar. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But,
But there is some good ones out there.
No, awesome. Anyway, appreciate you coming on again, man.
Yeah,
Fun,
man.
man. Hasn't even felt like we've been doing it.
Yeah.
It's like just
It goes
sitting
quick.
around having a
Time
chat.
goes
Does,
so
eh?
quick, bro.
Nuts.
There were some good stories there. That's
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed it.
No, I really
That's good.
appreciate that. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. We'll hope to get some more guests on with good chat like this. And see you next time. Peace out.
Yo.